Okay. Now I always start with okay. It's so stupid. Stupid. So anyway, I wanted to do a video of this one. Not so much that I didn't want to do one of that one or this one, but definitely this one, because this was the painting I've been wanting to do for a while. And when this one's all said and done and finished, I'm going to take this tape off of it, and then I'm going to paint a frame instead of actually framing it, because I don't think it's going to need one when it's all said and done. And I ain't done one in a while, so I'd rather paint the frame anyway. Kind of shrinks the picture down a little bit, but it's fine. So, but yeah, that's about it. Well, at least for that. But I do have that one standing by, which is drying, and this one, which is also drying. So I need to do another one, so that's the reason for this one. So just gonna do it. I need a real camera, if anything. Alright, so okay, so we'll just do this, and I'll just explain the colors as I go. So, because I can't really take my phone off and show you and put it back, for the main purpose that sandpaper is holding my phone. So, because this contraption broke. So, what I'm doing now is mix Prussian blue with white. And I'm using soft white because this is a dry canvas. So I've become accustomed to painting on dry canvases. Not that starting out with a wet canvas ain't bad, but saves on paint this way, I think. So this side is going to be a little more blue than the other side. I'm not going to have much of a sky anyway on this. You really won't see this too much once this is all said and done. I mean, there'll be a little bit of sky in here. Oh, and I did sketch out what I wanted. Just, not that you can't tell, but and I do apologize ahead of time for the glare, because see, yeah, that's what you get for fluorescent lights. So what I'm going to do is, real quick, I'm going to bang in all this blue. So there really isn't much sky in this picture anyway. Really not being too careful, as you can tell. So a little more blue, a little more white. Change the color a little bit. I get all this blue in here, I'm just going to go over all of it. Well, not all of it, but most of it with white, just to go over it, and it'll give me a nice transition in color anyway. Use darker blue, just adding a little more blue right up here, so you can see the difference in the blue already. So what's up with the, oh, okay, these aren't actually spots. No, it says Scotch blue. I'm like, what is up with all the dots? So, normally I don't paint around things either, but this one I'm going to, because I want to stick to the sketch. I don't normally sketch out what I'm going to do, especially when it came to this one here. Well, can't see that, but you know, let me turn it. When it came to this one, I didn't sketch nothing out at all. So that's right there. That's totally by imagination and a lot of thought. You know, like what to put and how to put it and this and that. So not by any means is this one done. And the camera doesn't do it quite any justice really either, because you can't see all the greens that are up in here, even though they're faint. You know, even in the evergreens up here and down there, all the green that's sitting right in here, the yellows and greens that are in here, the red that's in the rocks. Yeah, the camera just does not do it justice. So, alright, somebody just joined. Cool. So, I don't do too bad for only doing this for, say, 3 years. But, let's see, those words are really, really bugging me. This is why I need a better camera setup. Alright, so, do this. I like doing new things all the time. And then once I fulfill what I wanted to do, I always jump back to landscape painting. Because I never want to forget how to do this. It seems, you know, if you stop doing something that you started doing and you just stop, you tend to forget. So I don't want to forget. So, alright. Take some white. And like I said, this is just soft white, so it's going to take a while for it to dry. So, and then I'm going to make this side lighter than that one. Big fan of blending. Anybody who's watched a video of mine knows. So, and as always, I throw all my videos on YouTube, and it's just, I like going live on Instagram, as people who have watched me know. But I take those videos and I throw them on YouTube, so for all my 22 subscribers on YouTube, that's how I do it. because this video will be on YouTube. And when this is over, and I'll post it on my profile, how you can find it on YouTube, which is, well, it's easy for me, but some people have had an experience trying to find me on YouTube. So, and these little dots, it's only because the acrylic paint that I put on here, which was black acrylic paint, which, by the way, if anybody goes to Michael's, that's what you're buying, okay? And you're paying a whole lot for just a regular coat of acrylic paint. But there were some like little thingies in it that I had to get rid of. So that's the reason for the dots. But we're going to be painting over that anyway. And make it a little more brighter. Yeah, right like that. Like this. A little more brighter. And then let it transition out. So I don't do too bad for only painting for 3 years, I think. But I mean, I tried to paint when I was 19. It didn't seem to work out because I was really critical of my own stuff. So that's the reason for that. Okay, so now, sorry if I'm in the way. I had put all my brushes away. So I'm gonna use this one. This is where I blend it all together. Make it nice and soft, and like I've said before, the blender brush does a few things. I mean, it does blend your, all the colors and whatnot, but it also lifts oil off the painting. Makes it easier to lay colors on top of. Because I mean, if not, then you can only get so many layers. Then you gotta, I don't know, wipe it down or something, let it dry, whatever. But not too picky on the sky today. That's pretty much it. Let me see if I do this. Yeah. I'm trying to get my shadow in the way. There we go. So that's about it for the sky. Not too much happening up in there. So, sorry. You're going to see me do this a lot. Because there's a video that I did on my channel where I built my palette. And it's just a big table, really, with a piece of glass. So that's what I use. Alright, now I'm going to block in what's going to be not too distant of a tree. Well, I mean, a bunch of trees, really, but the waterfall is going to start here, and it's going to cascade down, and then it separates into two, and this is a big rock here, there's a big rock formation here. There's going to be, I didn't sketch them in, but there's going to be probably, like, I don't know, some kind of ferns or something coming out of here, which is going to cover all the base of these two trees, and whatnot. So, me get this green that I'm using here. Is a transparent green, and let's see, it's called Terra Verde, even though that's backwards. But anyway, this is basically what I'm going to use for the undercoat of these trees, because it's pretty dark and it's transparent, so the black will come through as it's drying. So, but it'll leave a green tint. I might mix it with sap green. I don't know yet. So I really don't have much of a plan as far as this goes, but yeah, I think I'm going to use the sap green at the bottom, which is also another transparent green. If anybody wants to know. After this, I'll do the waterfall. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. Just as a basic block in, anyway. Believe it or not, it's only gonna be like fuzzy. You know, it's just gonna. It's just gonna look like, you know, kind of like this right here. So I don't know how well this is all showing up. I really don't like it in light like that. But fluorescent lights, gotta hate them. Yeah, there's nothing I can do either. So, I get to apologize for poor quality video. But it's alright, I guess. Get this all up in there. And just tap the edges right here, just to do something with it. Yeah. Yeah, see, I was actually debating whether, you know, what to actually start with first. I was going to start with just doing the waterfall first. This way I wouldn't have to worry about getting any of these colors in the waterfall. But it is what it is. And this comes down. So after I get this blocked in, I'll do the waterfall. I'll try to stay off my line with this green anyway. I'm trying not to get in the way. But no, I start out with these transparent greens because they're really wet, and I don't have an issue the dry canvas. So that's my thought process on that. And like I said, I'll keep it right above the waterfall, so nothing gets into the water and contaminate anyway. I mean, it's just a blocking of it anyway, but still, I don't like that anyway. I'm getting rid of this. I thought it was going to look cool, but not really. There we go. I kind of like, yeah, I like that better. At least the green shows up good. So, yeah, so this green paint right here is real wet. Wouldn't really say like creamy or pasty or anything, but it's really wet. I know this blocking is going to take a long time to dry. But that's alright. There. You're not going to see none of the waterfall here because it's going to be all leaves and stuff and sticks. So you're not even going to see it there. And like I said, because it is a black canvas, that when this does dry, this is going to dry very dark, much like my other painting. And that's just the nature of it, you know. It's when you allow the background to show through it, whatever the background or whatever you put on the canvas, if you're not using a white canvas, so the color just tends to come through, and it's, you know, it's not a bad thing at all. Let it do something like that. I don't know. There we go. It's all gonna, you know, be detailed out anyway later on. But the thing about transparent colors too is the more you put on, the better. But if you keep going like this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna eventually be picking up all the paint, and you're gonna see black canvas. That's all you're gonna see. Because the more you do this, you know, the more paint you're gonna pick up. You know, the same thing goes for the blending brush too. Say if I keep tapping like this, the black comes through because you're removing paint at that point. Okay, that's pretty much all the green that's going to be there. So, actually, no, this is going to be green too. Yep. But I'm going to make darker green down here. Straight up sap green. Not going to see no waterfall right here, only from this tree out. Like that. There we go. There. Waterfall. So basically, what I'm going to do with the waterfall is I'm going to use the canvas, the dark of the canvas. This is my reasoning for for getting a nice black canvas anyway. Well, painting it black is I need all of this dark to show through the waterfall because these are dark rocks. So whatever rock formation the water is trickling down on is basically dark, and you can't get no darker than black. So I guess you could try, but I don't think it'd be too successful. So let's do that. So for that, I got this little worn out blender brush. This is very, very worn out. Now, let me see. This is a newer one. It's still wearing out, but so that's the height difference. This was as tall as this, and this was taller than what it is, but this works really good for the effect that I'm going to be doing. So, I'm not using straight white. I'm just going to use the blue and the white for the undertone. And like I said, this is going to be one pretty good effect, I think, because this is going to be light in some areas, and then take the bigger blender brush, this one, and just smear it around. So I'm really not too worried about outside edges. So this is what I was hoping for. Just to, I don't know, blur it, whatever. And if I get something like this on the outside, that's great, because I'm going to use that for the splashes as it comes down. So I'm not really being too careful. See, like dark pockets is what I want. But I need this line here, this line over here, this line, and this line. There is a line that does go across this way. But there's a rock here. But I believe it's higher up. And then there's a rock here and a small rock there. still got some thinner in this too. That's why it looks kind of runny, but that's alright. I'm going to use that. This is almost like an airbrush look. It's actually pretty cool. Like that. And this comes clean off like that. I want all these streaks to happen. And then all this. So these dark areas is what I was hoping for. I'm going to, when this is all completely dry, then I go in here and make it really look like a waterfall. All these darker areas will look really nice. Some of them are going to come together, some of them aren't. And I will be taking a picture of this because I know how just crappy this looks on my phone. And oh man, somebody waved. Wave back. Person's not there anymore, but this comes down, down, down. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so now what I'll do is pull all of it together. Meanwhile, I'm still having all these streaks that I'm saving. And I actually thought that this was going to be messed up kind of anyway, because it was paint thinner in here. It's really not that bright, trust me. But okay. Now, it's going to be one right here. And this comes like that. this, because you're going to have streaks that have more water in it, even though this is a pretty wide waterfall. But you're still going to have some areas that are going to be thicker water or more drippage. I don't know how you put it. And then down here, it's going to be all fogged up, because this is where the water hits. Right in here. Even though I know I got rocks there, but I'm just going to go right over it for now. I mean, I'll keep those rocks anyway. And then we just come out lightly that way, and lightly that way. Keeping most of the brightness right here, because that's going to be all the splash. And these dark pockets are going to be very, very useful later. And just blend it all together, right over the dark pockets too. Yeah. And blend this one out a little more. Like that. And then when I actually go to make the actual waterfall and all the water and everything else, every step is going to be bright down here, bright down here, bright down here. So it would be the top of the waterfall that's actually bright because of all the, well, except for maybe these two tiers, because you're kind of looking up at it, so you really wouldn't see too much splash going on here or here. But you would see it on this one, and definitely down there. So that's my thinking anyway. All right, that's the waterfall so far. So now I get to block in trees, and just so in case anybody wants to know that doesn't already know, even though, you know, pretty much I follow all artists, but I'm pretty sure they all know, the main thing for a block-in is to go over all this acrylic. Okay, so, and it's also a good layout, I guess. I guess you could say that. So, and this is just Van Dyke Brown, and basically what's happening is it's mixing with the blue and the green, but there you go. I like trees that have imperfections. That kind of goes like that. And seems to have lost my little sketch, but that's alright. I may actually have to squeeze out more brown. This side. The only thing you have to know about painting a tree is the top of the tree is thinner than the bottom of the tree. So as you work down, it should, and I mean should, get fatter. That's how nature intended it. It's the only thing to remember doing a tree. I mean, you're gonna have bumps and whatnot because of, say knots where there used to be a tree limb and now there isn't. But that usually happens closer to the base of the tree. These are the trees that I have outside my house. So I'll probably end up putting something there. I don't know. I'll be staring at this all night anyway. So I'll try to actually just block this in. Because Instagram only gives you an hour for a live video. So I seem to take my time more and more these days. Painting. Which basically you should. I mean, you really shouldn't go any faster than you need to. Unless you're doing commission work and you're on a time crunch. But commission work's always fun because you don't have to think about nothing. People usually just tell you what they want, give you a picture of what they want, and you just go by that. There's really almost no thinking on my part, which is awesome. Because when I have to think, and it's paintings like this one over here, it's going to take a while. Alright, one more tree. No, tree trunk, I should say. This one is actually pretty cool. It's all crooked and stuff. And then it's got a little thing right there. Oh, maybe I do have enough brown. Just enough, I think. I think I'm going to need just a tad bit more. Nope, don't need any more. And that's probably going to come out like that. So, more than likely. Alright, those are blocked in. I do need more brown. Gonna mix brown and blue to give me my dark rock. So this is almost a black, but not quite. it's just really, really, really dark. So this rock formation, like that. And there's going to be bushes in this one, but I'm not going to see it right now. Not until I start all the detail on it. And then I'll throw them in because I got to do the waterfall first. So see how dark that is? It's almost black. You get black, you know, I mean, you can get black with phthalo green and crimson, or no, I guess that's true black right there, but I like using the Prussian blue and the Van Dyke brown because it's just as dark, but more to the blue side. Which, you know, is the reason why it's so dark anyway. I don't know. Can't really explain it. I'm not a pro. I don't claim to be a pro. You know, especially mixing color. Because I'm no pro. I just tell people what I learn as I go. I know I got lines in my sketch, but this is going to actually be pretty solid. I'll worry about lines when I detail it out. Since right now it looks like I don't know, like a kindergartner kid or something did this, but that's okay. That's alright. See, yes, this white spot eventually will be gone. So I'm not too worried about it. But like I said, the whole point of a block in is just to get the entire canvas covered in oils so that there's no acrylic showing. Because I guess what happens over time, if you don't seal acrylic paintings, at least this is what I'm hearing anyway, if you don't seal acrylic paintings and you just leave them, you know, within a couple of years they'll start to crack, you know, mostly due to, you know, cool and warm air, I think. But this way, I mean, you can leave an oil painting. Once it's dry, an oil painting is completely dry, I mean, you can go years, you know, before you even have to seal the paint, you know, which would be a varnish or something. I use what do I use? I use 2 coats of Liquin Original, because the yellowing over time, see, this is a pretty big bottle because I seal all my paintings with it. I mean, I do use it as a thinner, but I mainly use it to seal the paintings, and it seems to work pretty well. See how dark that is? That's even darker than this here. So actually works pretty well for an almost black. Okay, so that's gonna go like that. And then I got a rock in here. So, this here, I think I'm just going to use straight blue for right down in here. Straight blue, straight Prussian blue. 'Cause I want it dark, but I want it a different color than the rock. If I make it all the same color, then I'll lose my rock, and I don't want to do that. Start out dark at the very bottom, and then just let it kind of fade as it goes up. You know, this way I have a little bit of sky reflection, you know. Reflected color, light, and down in here. And as my brush runs out of paint, that's now I'll go up into this lighter area right here and make the light blue. And that'll give me my guideline for the splash on the bottom. See how it transitions right there? It's not too bad. No, you can't because the words are in the way. Alright, well, after I'm done and I'm all done with this video, and you can just go on to the story, I guess, and see this video again. I think it goes in the story, I'm not sure. Pretty sure. There. So, and then you'll be able to see what I'm doing right there. It's a good thing it's just blue. Now I can go right into the brown, make that nice dark color, almost black color. You could do it too with, you know, phthalo blue or ultramarine blue mixed with burnt umber. Just don't use too much brown or lighten it, because you will get green because of the brown. Especially with Van Dyke. Van Dyke brown is a really weird color in my opinion. Because if you just take normal Van Dyke brown, right, and mix it with white, you almost get like a gray color. But if you mix it with blue and white, you get green. I don't know. I'm stumbling over my words. I don't know how that works out like that, but it does. So right now I'm just painting in these little tiny rocks down here. I'll probably end up putting more, but we'll judge that later. Yeah, see this, like I was saying, that green, because of the white right in there, is starting to come out. But it's alright, I guess, because it just rocks. I mean, if I was just being really specific with what it would be, then I would have an issue. But this is only a block in, so I don't really care. So I guess it adds that gray tone anyway that I'm looking for. So we'll have to put the same in this one just to separate. And right here. This one's in front. And I'm going to just add a little bit of white to this just so I can separate this rock from the two in the front. You probably can't really see that too well, but trust me, it's a different color. There we go. So, now that's all blocked in, that's good. So I guess what I can do is I can take this blue and brown, this really dark color. I'm going to cover up this dot. There we go, now that dot won't be bothering me. And I guess I can use it as a separator too, huh? Alright, I'll just fill all this in. Actually, all this dark right here. Just put a little paint. Doesn't really matter much, really. This is actually a rock right here. You know, the key thing about a block end stage, you know, loose painting. Don't be too accurate, whatnot, you know, because there's no perfection really. So, not during a block end anyway. There we go. See how it's turning green? Yeah.